Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will share with you some technical analysis as to where I think we might see Bitcoin going after its recent dump. It is quite possible we could now see the pump I was talking about in my previous video a couple days ago. So that's enough jaw-jacking, let's get right into the weeds. And so jumping over here to the daily chart for Bitcoin on the Binance exchange, you can see the price of Bitcoin has essentially dumped about 13% since reaching its most recent all-time new high. So that is a bit of a dump. And so in my previous video a couple days ago, we were taking a look at these two candles here, and I noted that had these come down into the EMA ribbons, we could then be ready for a pump up, as is the history, if we go back and check our 6 of Bitcoin on this current bull run. When the price sees a run up, we typically get this pull back into the EMA ribbons. We then get another run up after bouncing off. You can see another pull back into the ribbons. The price bounces back up once again. Another pull back into the ribbons. A bigger bounce up. And then the price does eventually roll over, and this is a sign that we're going to sell off when the price breaks below the ribbons. And I had made a previous video where I went short on this breakdown of the ribbons. However, right now what we see is this big move up and no real retracement back into the EMA ribbons when we go to the all-time new high. And so now we are finally getting that retracement back into these ribbons. And so there is the possibility we will now get that bounce out of the ribbons and move to a newer all-time high. And my target would be around $74,000 for the next leg of this move. However, with that being said, we can just as easily crush down through all these ribbons and sell off back into perhaps the 41,000 level. But I would be looking for some support around the 54,000 level, where you can see back here we do get some support. And so if we look at that 54,000 level, that would actually perhaps keep the price within the ribbons and then see that move up. But again, any breakdown out of these ribbons, and I would definitely be getting short once I get a daily candle close down below the ribbons. Now, trading the move up, if we do get the close of this candle, which is going to close in just about 2 hours, inside the ribbons or even outside the ribbons, the key to me is that we did touch or wick into these ribbons. So it doesn't really matter where this candle closes for me, as long as it's not below the ribbons, and that would be a heck of a flush if that happens in the next 2 hours. But as long as this candle either closes in the area that it's at now, or even if it closes out of the ribbons, we got the touch I was looking for, and at that point I would be looking to perhaps be getting long. Now, with that being said, you might want to wait on longer confirmation. You might wait for the price to get above the 60,000 level, which was prior support. You might wait for a daily candle to close above the 60,000 level before jumping into a trade. It really kind of depends on your risk tolerance, your risk management. Now, for me, I will more than likely be jumping into a trade on the close of this candle because we got the touch I was actually looking for. And so I'll probably take a shot at a small position, and once we cross above the 60,000, I perhaps would then increase my position, and then I'd more than likely start taking profit around the all-time high on at least one portion of my position, and at the same time I'd be moving my stop loss up along the way. And my stop loss when I enter this position will more than likely be somewhere down around this 56,000 to 54,000, depending on the risk versus reward ratio when I actually get into the position. I typically shoot for a 1 to 2 risk versus reward ratio, or better yet, a 1 to 3 risk versus reward ratio, and by doing so I can be right only around 30 to 33% of the time, or even less on the 1 to 3, and still be profitable. And so this is the setup that is currently on my radar. It's a little longer term trade. It's not my typical day trade. I will actually let this run for multiple days before scaling out and taking profit, as it could take me a couple days to actually scale into my position. And so to wrap things up, what I was looking for out of this particular setup was a pullback into the EMA ribbons, much like we saw here. And so I'm looking for a repeat out of this recent dump and then a pump towards the upside. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I really just wanted to do a quick video since this was actually on my radar, and it looks like I'll be going into a trade here within the next couple hours. And so I will do an update video in the future on how this trade plays out. So now would be a good time to shoot that subscribe button. Also, if you like these type of videos, do me a favor and spike a like. The more likes I see on these type of videos lets me know to make more of these videos. And with that being said, if you have any questions or comments, drop those in the comment section down below. And in closing, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.